Most of us are taught a specific story about hard work. We learn that if we put our heads down and push through the friction, our brains release dopamine to celebrate reaching the finish line. This chart shows how your brain actually processes that chemical. Dopamine is a learning signal, operating as a continuous prediction engine. It constantly measures your expectation of a task against the reality of doing it. If an experience feels better than you predicted, the line spikes green, releasing a wave of dopamine to tell your brain the behavior is worth repeating. But look at what happens when you sit down to tackle a difficult project. Your brain has already logged a prediction that the upcoming hour will be tedious and slow. Because reality aligns with that grim expectation, the line drops sharply into the red. Your dopamine flatlines, triggering immediate physical resistance to the work. When you try to push through that feeling, you are fighting your own neurological structure. Relying on temporary willpower to override a hardwired prediction creates friction, and over time, that friction guarantees burnout. To bypass that resistance, you have to rewrite the expectation before the effort begins. Today, we are going to build a customized 4-step startup sequence that trains your brain to crave the initiation of hard work. Rewriting a neural pathway requires physical action, so grab a pen and a blank index card right now. At the top of the card, write down one specific, intimidating task you have been putting off. The goal of this sequence is to generate an artificial spike of dopamine before you do any actual work. On your index card, right below your task, write Step 1, Trigger. You need to pick one highly specific sensory action to execute immediately before starting. Press play on a song, take a sip of a beverage, or complete a precise stretch. Do not change this trigger from day to day. Rigid, unbroken repetition is the only mechanism that builds a reliable neurological association. By executing this exact ritual every single time you sit down, you teach your brain that this physical cue means a positive experience is about to begin. You front-load the dopamine, neutralizing the initial wall of resistance. Your brain rarely protests the physical calories required to work. It protests the ambiguity. When a task is vaguely defined, your prediction engine cannot calculate the energy required to complete it, so it defaults to rejection. Under your trigger, write Step 2, Microstart. You cannot use time-based parameters for this step. Deciding to work for an hour provides no clear finish line for your brain's prediction system, leaving the uncertainty intact. Look at this comparison. Setting a goal to open a document and type 3 sentences requires almost zero effort and takes less than 30 seconds. Defining a microstart makes success mathematically guaranteed. The moment your brain can accurately predict completion, it drops its defensive posture and generates the momentum required to keep going. Even with momentum, working in a void is dangerous. Without continuous feedback, your brain assumes no progress is occurring and starves your dopamine supply. To prevent this, write Step 3, Tracker on your card. You need a physical, visual method to record every micro step you complete. Draw a tally mark, move a sticky note, or click a mechanical counter. Dopamine rises strictly in response to the act of moving forward. The chemical hit does not come from finishing the overarching project. By actively updating a visual tracker, every tiny step becomes concrete proof of forward motion. This constant stream of positive data satisfies your prediction engine and sustains your focus. A predictable reward schedule eventually fails. If you give yourself the exact same break after every work session, your brain maps the routine, loses interest, and disengages. For your final step, write Step 4, Variable Reward. This diagram illustrates how unpredictability hacks your attention span. Notice the flashing reward node. When your brain knows a reward is possible, but cannot accurately predict exactly when it will arrive, it pays extreme attention to the process leading up to it. You can build this randomness into your workflow with a coin flip or a 6-sided die. After completing a set of microsteps, roll the die. If it lands on an even number, you earn a 5-minute break. If it's odd, you skip the break and keep working. Randomizing the outcome completely detaches the feeling of achievement from the finish line. You force your brain to become addicted to the process of trying. Review your completed index card. You now have a defined trigger, a guaranteed microstart, a visible progress tracker, and a variable reward rule. The feeling of accomplishment is no longer trapped at the exhausting end of a massive project. It is engineered directly into the first 5 seconds of effort. You have built a continuous loop of anticipation, action, feedback, and reward. With enough repetition, your brain updates its core operating rule so that starting feels inherently good, allowing the cycle to run on its own. But understanding the system won't alter your neurochemistry. You have to physically lock in the new prediction by running the loop right now. As soon as this video ends, activate your trigger, execute your microstart, and let this engineered gravity pull you automatically into the work.